Hello, and welcome to part 200 of our Vanilla Survival Minecraft series. I am just going to verify the health of the stream real quick. Audio and such. La la la. Meow. Meow. Seems like it's fine to me. Okay, let's jump right back into it. I suppose I'll just go here because this is where I recently was. Actually, it's very convenient that I would, because I need a view to start us off here. And you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. Pig and cherry blossom. Off to a dignified start. What is that thing on the left? What the? I have not played this. Why is it all baby mobs? What's going on here? Baby pig. Anyways. As we dramatically materialize before the endless expanse of the sunset-kissed ocean. Whoa, I have bad stick drift on my controller. Okay. Here's the dealio. See this mansion over here? That was my... Oh my god, the stick drift is so bad. That was my first build in this survival here world. This thing upon which I currently stand was my second. It is a what I like to call a semi-brutalist contemporary castle in a vertical format. So basically contemporary vertical castle with motifs to mirror and reference the corner lot over there. Affectionately. Blah blah blah. These were mostly complete, sans of course the fact that Golem mysteriously stopped spawning, which was pretty demotivating because the whole point is to have these function as villages in and of themselves. First build, second, very proud of it. And then the third build is over there. I'll show it quick. For it is relevant to what will be discussed in this stream. The stick drift is so bad, I apologize. I'll go here. What the? And this area is mostly complete. I could put a little bit more juice into it, but more or less, this was the third installation, and it is very nice. An arborist harbor house on a plot of flowers. The reason I have returned is because new inspiration has called out to me. Like a siren from the sea. I know where I will build next. You'll never guess. Maybe you will. You want to go in? You can just go in. There you go. I am going to build a jungle sky village in the direction of this peninsula that houses a jungle biome. Makes sense? I built there, I built there. I built there. I made this beautiful bridge that is a mathematical extension of Village Square, because I build in 5x5 cells. If I were to just continue it in this direction, it'd be a perfect, I don't know, addition to the series. I did, however, forget how far away this biome is. Interesting. I see. In that case, this path will meander slightly, which is okay. Instead of just going straight, it'll meander a bit. Maybe in that case, this will be even more on brand with Village Square. Town Square. We'll see. At any rate, I intend to build in the jungle biome. You know, I suppose if I really needed to, I could simply take some of those saplings and bring them here and create an artificial jungle biome. It's not off the table. Doesn't really feel right, but I could do that. I think what I need to do is harvest some jungle trees. I forget what they're called. Cool. Yes. That recipe being unlocked verifies that I haven't had this kind of wood before, which in fact means this will give me jungle tree seeds. Indeed, I don't have to transport the villagers all the way over here with a massive and utterly treacherous bridge. If I can just bring the saplings over here. But something feels wrong about creating an artificial jungle biome. In either case, I do have to get the seeds, so. That is how I will begin this journey. The drift is quite severe on my controller. Not much I can do about it. I'm going for the trees on the outskirts that won't alter the ecosystem in a meaningful way. I just need a few. Hold on. In theory, I'm good with the seeds that I have, but I want to wait until a couple more pop out. The drift is so bad. Oh, thanks, Wave. I appreciate it. I thought I had more. I see, was that an oak? I definitely have collected more than just 3 jungle saplings. Unless 1 or 2 of these was an oak. In any case, I have what I need in theory. What's up with the texture on that horse? Oh! If that's just supposed to look like a normal speckled horse, oh my god, no. That looks like a flesh-eating disease. Ah. Ah, this was the oak. I mostly have what I need. It's tempting to stick around and wait, but there's no need. Excuse me. See, the point of a jungle biome is to not artificially plant it. But as you can see, a pathway all the way from here seems a little bit unnecessary. We'll have to see. Either way, I have what I need. I have some saplings that I can just post out here. Plant, I mean. So that I can farm them until I have enough of an inventory on saplings to plant a bunch of mega trees. At that point, I will have to render a choice as to whether I want to plot a path all the way to the true biome or bring the biome closer. The cool thing about jungle trees is that they do not contaminate the grass like spruce mega trees do. I can put them anywhere. I don't need to put them on a platform. I don't know. Let's put one. Right here. Seems good enough. In case I somehow get no saplings out of that, I'm gonna go ahead and plant a few more here. 3, 4, 5. I'm fine with that. They're far apart enough that it wouldn't become an issue with how quickly they grow. Certainly nothing's going to happen to those trees. One will grow into a super tree. There's no way I can exhaust the seeds that I already have. I suppose it wouldn't be the end of the world if I did. I could just get more, but it would be annoying. The true biome is over there. Across this little isle of little islands. A path from here would be a very, very long, a very, very unnecessarily long journey. But maybe that's what I have to do. This will be contingent on where the center of this landmass in the distance, the center of the jungle biome, reconciles with the village square and the surrounding additions to it. I could justify, actually, the entrance of this house being flush with the main pathway leading that way, because it makes sense. We could just sort of have a pretty meandering path over here till it finds its way to Broadway and goes all the way out in the center, right through there. I could justify that. In fact, I spy with my little eye 4 blocks or 3 that seem to be pretty on the mark of where we are, actually, coincidentally. And I'm looking at this overall. It seems like this area is pretty much in the center of what we can see. Be pretty on brand. I fear I've already fallen in love with the idea. I'll be doing the most arduous thing and building a very long path. With that being the case... Whoa. Skeleton? Oh, there you are. Will admit that scared me pretty bad. Where's my bow? These are nice to have. Where'd you go? He's probably underneath me. Moron. Man, trying to target with a bow is a nightmare with the stick drift. That's right. Should probably stop messing around and get inside. Storms in Minecraft are dangerous, not for what's in your immediate proximity, but for the reason that as long as the player is conscious, not asleep, every mob in render distance is in danger. because lightning can damage structures and valuable mobs. And it tends to be kind of particular in its choices. Lightning can be the reason a relatively healthy village goes completely extinct. Do jungle seeds? Yes, they do. I was about to say, do they grow outside of jungle biomes? And yes, they do. I already have the answer to that. Something I also already have the answer to is, of course, the fact that now that I intend to snake the path over here along the shore, which would be very nice, will be very nice, just gives me another opportunity to sort of wrap the path around the shore and put some nice foliage here across the harbor. But for that reason, I will be collecting these trees, putting them over here instead. I'm going to place these at random. They don't need to be plotted in a particular way. And then I guess one of these I'll make a super tree and call it a day. It's fine. This is just the farm. It's not supposed to be aesthetic or coordinated. That is so pretty. And the path will go here. You of course have the option of making it vary a little bit, so it's not just one massive straight path. But I kind of like that idea. The idea of it just being straight. Anyways, in the case of this, I already have a good amount of materials. My Ark farm is over there, inside of this house, would you believe? It's very, very efficient. It's contained. The rate of growth is excellent. Oak actually proved, surprisingly, to be one of the best materials insofar as farming. By far one of the best. Possibly even more than mega spruce trees. I see. Not quite enough. It thins out a little too much over here. Which is almost kind of nice because it gives me an excuse to snake the path out diagonally. But it also gives me an excuse to build a little bit into the water, which is also quaint. Having a little nook here would match the surrounding theme. It would be welcome. Actually, funnily enough, for the reason that I have these coordinates already, I could right now plot exactly what this looks like. If this was center. And that's literally all I need to do. Yes. See what I mean? Oh, I see. But a disadvantage of this is, if I went in this direction, the terrain would be level for longer. But I like the idea of staying close to the shore, the harbor over here. For this immediate part of it. I don't want it to be sheltered. If we're close to the shore, I want to fully utilize the shore. Makes sense. This feels a little too recessed, don't you think? We should be right on the water if the water is right here. I suppose it's not the end of the world. I mean, I already did have to lay this path around this junction, up and down, for the reason that this is where the coordinates met up. I can do it again, it's not a big deal. I just prefer to not work on uneven terrain when it comes to walkways, because in order to secure the pathways you have to do things like this, which can be nice when applied correctly, but sometimes it just looks a little bit busy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, where's my shovel? My diamond shovel, I think it has durability, right? No, it has efficiency. No, that was not my goal. We'll be obviously double, triple, quadruple checking that these coordinates are correct. Because if they weren't, I would throw off everything henceforth. Everything that this path, everything reliant on it would then be wrong if this path was wrong. No thanks. Don't want that to happen. It's happened several times in my builds. I build a lot of Civilization, but it was based on an error. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's just cover that up. Meaning, let's just pretend like it's all correct and not talk about it. Talk about the fact, of course, that all of Civilization is predicated on a mistake. Whoopsie. Oopsie. Whoopsie daisy. Hate that. That's what I'm talking about. I hate that shit. Anyways, this is an oak log. Good to know. Do I have torches? See, this was the tragedy of losing access to the iron golems. I have a strong preference for lantern lighting. I've lost my primary resource on iron. I don't mine after all, so sucks. I'm relegated to using plain old torches now, for as long as I cannot farm the iron. Oh, what a merciful resolution. That happened to fall right where I needed it to fall. I was hoping it would. Because this was one such area, nice that that grew already, where I had to make sure that the transition between one level and another was secure. Anyway, you'll see what I mean in a second. I need to get back. See? To push that path farther back on the land when we could be neighbors here, architecturally speaking, would be such a waste. I am going to save real quick and back up my save. Because you never know when you're just going to get blown up by a creeper. I will officially be deleting the 2025 copy and replacing it with a 2026 copy. Yeah, these are baby mobs. A baby ocelot, a baby sheep, a baby pig, a baby whatever the F that other thing was. Was that a baby ender dragon? That would be weird. It is tempting to construct an artificial jungle biome here, but it would never mitigate the fact or console the fact that I never got rid of my sword. Oh, that's something that he dropped. Anyways, it would never be a consolation of the fact that the grass would be the wrong color. So I'm not going to do it that way. I have to make sure that's not my sword. And something that I have to do is use this convenient spare gate that I had in my inventory. Thank you very much. You want to know what's kind of beautiful? When I kept that spare in my inventory, I probably knew at some point that I would be grateful that I kept a spare. Okay. See, I don't like things like this where if I put this here, it'll secure what's on the inside, but not the outside. It'll insulate from the inside, but not from the outside. So I or a villager won't be able to leave, but something on the other side will be able to just whoop and walk right in. Don't like that. Hate that. Why on earth did I do it that way? Why did I do it this way? 1 second. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I do it this way? Oh, yeah. Same reason as before. So I offset it by 1, the same way I would offset the trees. I was looking for the law. Now that I found it, I suppose I'll just do the same here. I'll offset it by 1. See why I don't like that? It's just icky, you know? It's just icky. Hi, fish. Oh, this is problematic. Just thinking about how I'm going to express the stairs. If I just honor the original blocks here, which is like what I prefer to do. But sometimes I make exceptions. I'll build around it. I won't alter it itself, but I'll build around it where I see fit. I was thinking of putting stairs in cells of 5 just to make this a little cleaner. Filling this up with some oak slabs. And box sitting in, framing it in nicely with some planks, logs rather. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just an extra piece here. It's bothering me. And if I doubled it, it would end right here. This is wrong. Anyways, it would end right here. And that's problematic. Because it can't end right there. Because of this doohickey. Damn it. This is all sorts of wrong. Even this right here. This thing. It's a nice idea. Opens up to the shore here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's this extra piece. Oh. Simple. This doesn't have to be here at all. Interesting. I'll keep it in mind. I do need to get more oak logs. I'll let these grow as they will for now. I really want to solve this. Yeah, I don't like this. No, I hate that. I don't like that. No. I was supposed if I needed to, I could just make this into, like, wall. Wall? Yeah, wall. Like so? What the hell? It's not... You see what I mean? Yeah, it's the eccentricities. It functions, but I don't like the way it feels. Anyways. Just real quick while I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I absolutely despise that the torch at the 5th mark feels ornamental, but the wood isn't there to support it. I hate that. I'll need to do something about that, indeed. Whoops. Just gonna go up through the basement. This house that I made is really quite gorgeous. I adore it. It came out so well. Every single part of it. So Yes. My indoor oak tree farm is right here, and holy cow, that is a lot of oak trees that grew. What I love about this is several things. I can mine at the speed of light. There's no extra foliage or tree branches on top because of the height limit that I tested and established. It is well lit from the inside and completely sheltered from mobs outside. So I can get high concentrations of oak logs quickly, any time of day, without having to turn my back, worry about my surroundings. Compact, simple, but the best manual farm I've ever created in Minecraft. Easily. And because they're not touching wood, the leaves that is, most of them at least, once I sever any connections there, they will dissipate. And drop more saplings naturally. Like so. And voila, I have nearly a stack. And I didn't even have to leave the comfort of my own home. Good stuff, right? Oh, these are just two sections that could potentially connect with oak logs. Two areas, there and there. But that's hardly anything. I should say, these beams and this one, but truly, that's hardly anything. See how compact this farm is? But it's very concentrated. It's extremely efficient. I don't need to get rid of these manually, I'm just choosing to because I'm a little anxious. And I'm having trouble just sitting still right now doing nothing. I'm anxious about several things. I'm not particularly interested in sharing, I'm afraid. I'll tell you what, the general theme of the people that I'm worried about is that none of them deserve for me to be worried about them. Yeah, I suppose that's enough light. Bada bing, bada boom. Again, I don't need to take these down, I'm just choosing to. I love my farm here too. Yeah, I just love this house. It's so well done. It's so functional and it's so ornate, but it's also so beautiful. Oh, one of the saplings fell out there. Makes sense. because the leaves had sprouted from the other side. That can happen. Anyway. I love this library room. It's so lovely. Only thing missing, of course, is iron golems that stop spawning for no reason. This game just couldn't handle the mob quantity. It had nothing to do with me, although I blamed myself. Nothing to do with me. I did everything right. The ratio of job blocks to villagers to beds, there was nothing wrong with any of my building. The game was just stupid and weak. Oh, we got some zombies here. I'll let them die. While we're here, something else that I liked about the necessity of the indoor farm is that it gave me an opportunity to have a lovely little sky deck here. And because of the specific ceiling limit that the height requirement of the tree growth imposed, this specific deck happens to happen at a fun little height between the floors. That's an exception to the rule. And I like little nuances like that. Little exceptions to the rule. I never really finished this outdoor area, but I could do a lot with it. I could add a tree. I could do whatever I wanted. But it's lovely space out here, and I love that. Anyways, go ahead and use some of these. This new wood that I have. Oak planks. I need... what I really need right now is some of this stuff that goes really quick. Oops. Okay. I need a fair amount of sticks to make this work. Honestly, a lot of this stuff I'm just gonna put immediately into the oak fences that I need, because they will go very, very quick. I think that's good on the oak fences. Actually, no, not quite. I still need more. Because I'm thinking about how far I need to carry this pathway until the grass changes color, and then I will change the color of the fences. It'll be very nice. Just like I did for where the oak fences met sand and water, I changed it to stone wall. Very nice touch. I'm talking about the ocean tower that you get to by turning right at that pathway. Anyway, I'd like to apply something similar here. At the meeting of the two biomes, grass and jungle. Now I'm sure, mostly at least that is, that I have enough to meet that goal, so I don't have to worry about it later. Should be fine now. I will still need some more oak logs and slabs. And stairs for terrain differences. But for now, I have the most resource demanding thing, which is the fences. Yeah, I like this. I like that when I stand out here, there will be continued participation and involvement with the public path. It's just a nice reference, you know? I really like what I've done. And if I wanted to, I can always add a little detour on this path to give it some more variety, but the bones are here, and that's what's important. I suppose as I wait for those trees to grow, I can go ahead and continue working. As happens, I'll probably find that I reach this goal quicker than expected. I'll figure out what I want to do here later. For now, all that matters is it works. I take back what I said. I will absolutely not have enough. But this is a good start. I should probably save the game before a creeper blows me up. Yeah? I'm being irresponsible. I think I need to cut myself some slack. I'm way more responsible than most people are. And it seems like they're seldom punished for it. So, here's something interesting. Do I want to make use of this natural staircase looking thing here? Or do I want to shimmy this around the hill and create a cute little detour? I think the answer is I want to make use of this, because I might want to build something up here on this terrain. Yeah. I think the answer there is pretty clear. Up it is. It's just an opportunity to put a little house on the hill, you know? I don't have enough stairs. We'll have to go back to my farm, which is closer than it seems, just like everything in this game. Just like everything in life, everything is closer than it appears. It's true. There's truth to what I said. The world is a lot smaller than some people might have you believe, or than you might believe. Events and milestones and stages of life are a lot closer than you think. To the point of it being maddening. To the point of insanity. Put that there for now. Indeed, I will not have enough. But it was a respectable start. I'd say this is 1/3 of the way. Again, I'll work out the nuances along the way when I have the right resources, like the logs and stuff. I will definitely be putting logs here to frame the path. See? The pathway I took was so complicated, but it's not far at all. The pathway I took to get there, I mean. But in reality, bro, it's a couple steps away. And there's beauty in that. But there's also great sadness in that. It's comforting knowing that your greatest obstacles in life are actually not that large. But it's sad knowing how short life is. And it's also scary knowing about what you could have missed out of fear of how far away or large things were. When in reality they weren't that daunting. And they were right around the corner. Accessible to you at any time. At a moment's notice. That stuff is hard to think about. Something that I did that I enjoyed today was I ate what I wanted to eat. This might sound trivial, but it isn't. We're talking about doing things without being inhibited or held back by fear. I have a pretty stringent diet. It's for a good cause. I mean, I have an amazing body. But you gotta live sometimes, you know? And that goes both ways. Sometimes you gotta diet and work hard so that you can look amazing in a skimpy swimsuit. And other times you just gotta eat whatever the heck you want to eat. There's merit in both, as long as you let yourself do whatever your heart tells you to do. If you want to be leaner, then do what you need to do. If you want to enjoy a nice dessert or 2 or 3, then do what you need to do. Whatever the fear might be, you can't let it get in the way. So I'm glad I did that today, genuinely. Will I have to work hard this week as a result? Yep. Will I have to observe a caloric cut this week that will impact my entire week? Yep. Was it still worth it? Yep. These things can be true all at once. There's no rule that says they can't be. Got some of these. I'll leave those logs alone for now. I feel like the villager baby mobs have changed in appearance. Maybe they have larger heads, stouter heads. It might be that I have just been away from Minecraft for so long, but I feel like they look slightly different. Let me back up the game real quick. That bee was a little spooky, not gonna lie. What that bee doing? It's a baby cat. I see. Maybe there's a correlation between my observation that the baby villager mobs look slightly different and the fact that as a possible thematic or update related signal, the devs have put some baby mobs at the starting screen. You know what I mean? To signal a change. I think they updated baby mobs. I don't know why they did. I couldn't care less, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Bro, this was such a good choice. From here, it doesn't look too long or lanky. It looks totally proportionate. I love that. And again, I could always introduce some fun little detours between these major points, but the important thing is that the bones are down. Anything can happen in between. Honestly, you don't want any detours happening here because that would totally consume the limited space we have. This should be for foliage and stuff, which is how I felt before, because it's right on the shore. Okay, so this. I suppose that's fair. Easy enough. Works out nicely over here at least. This is so good because on the outskirts of this path, on the outside, it leaves for some beautiful opportunities for foliage. It's honestly so good. I was so smart with how I designed this town. Genuinely, I was so smart. But that's the case for everything that I do, low-key. Okay. So the question is, before, when I was sealing in the path that was water facing, did I honor the exact arbitrary shoreline, or did I round it out and make some choices? I will find that answer now. And whatever it is, I will carry that on this wing. Seems like I made exceptions to the rule here and there. Just confirming what I already knew. Ah, I see. Yes, makes sense. Why on earth would I not honor the exact line? It seems I honored the line where I couldn't make it reconcile with the path nicely, and then did not honor the line where I could. If that makes sense. Hi, turtles. Hi. Hi, turtles. Oh, right. And I forget it was tree-based, too. Can't forget, I plotted trees first and then connected them like line segments. So, I should do the same over here. Right. That's a little confusing. Why on earth is it there? Why is this here? Why is this here? It shouldn't be here. What? Dude, why are you here, actually? There's no reason that should be there. There's like no justification of it at all. Oh, that's why. How annoying. That's literally why. I wanted to keep it below 3, but I don't care. You know, I don't really know if I can justify the railing being here when I could just so easily do one of these. You know, it's a no-brainer. Easy. Yeah, like, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, I wanted to honor the original, sure, but it's a no-brainer, dude. And I'm not actually modifying the terrain itself, I'm just adding onto it. If I ever didn't like that, I could always remove it. I can see immediately why I had that concern. Because that looks a lot more organic than this does, even if this is respectful. Yes. I knew I couldn't justify putting wood in front of the sand. The sand must always meet the water. And with that thinking, I was like, I have to honor the original line. Do I do the same here? If I capture the sand instead of a wooden container, it'll seem like a simulation, an imitation of nature, instead of nature itself. I have to honor the original line. I have no choice. And yes, I do have to put a fence in. If I didn't, then mobs would get out. But I should also remember, I should avoid putting any of this in until I've planted the trees. Because that will largely determine how I articulate the border on the shore. After all, a lot of this wood is unnecessary. No wonder it looked unnatural. That wasn't the order in which I did it before. I planted trees first and then connected the line segments. I already knew this, I'm just tired and I forgot to follow through with that thinking. Excuse me. Gonna quickly plant this again. Yikes. Hi, Tardon. Sorry, I have a post-nasal drip. It's very, very annoying and very stubborn. I feel like I'm drowning half the time. What do you have for me? Nothing much. You have nothing of interest at all. I'm thankful. I couldn't really trade with you anyway. For my lack of iron. Well, no, I suppose I could use my Fletchers. Thank God. At least I continue to have access to tools and such through trade. But the iron is out. Okay. Before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, this is why I changed this post, because I didn't understand why it was off-grid. Then I understood it was to preserve the two tall height limit that I had going over here, and it does look a lot better to have it that way. At any rate, here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna get rid of these. How do I? Yes, I haven't played Minecraft in a while. Ugh. Like I said, I have to plant the trees first. This could be a tree, actually. There are no villagers here to worry about, so I suppose I could just take out no animals either. Yeah. So I suppose I could just take this out and plant a tree here to see what happens. Definitely don't want a tree too close to the water. I don't want anything too close to the water here. I could see a tree being there. Yeah. I will be staying within my 3x3 tree grid. I do not make exceptions to the rule. ever. So I will go ahead and just keep this here. It's a bad idea. You don't want this to be closed. This is more beachy, so I guess there really shouldn't be a tree here, in general. In that case. I'll just skip a beat or two. No problem. Maybe one there. Maybe one here? Maybe. Maybe one here? This feels a little too close to the sand. And that feels a little too close to the water. I shouldn't be out here in the middle of a storm or rain, but I hate how that doesn't interact nicely. I don't have a choice, though. I'll leave it that way for now. I suppose what I could do if I had to is just relocate this. See how I feel about it. It looks like unnecessary media, but I hate the idea of the torches being different. It's fine, I'll figure it out later. These. I don't want this tree here. This is a tough choice here. Obviously I won't have them like this. The flashing. The flashing that happens occasionally because of the storm or because of some weird rendering glitch in the game is throwing me off. It's distracting. Anyways. Can't put any trees here. This is why I put one here. I don't think these are bad, actually. Just one of them needs to change in where it's located. Maybe like this. Cracking my back, sorry. Yeah, I think that makes sense. How beautiful. That little alleyway perfectly coincides with this. It would, I mean, it's all on grid. That's why I build on grid. It's not training wheels, it is vastly contrarily a standard and a stylistic choice that I uphold in Minecraft survival. Anyways, I need to get rid of one of these. These have to be here. Otherwise I'd have to run fence here in a way that wouldn't feel right. So I guess I can just remove this one because I can't bear the thought of these two being in line with one another. This will have to be how I do it. Alright, that's fine for now. You go ahead and light this up though, before I leave. Ugh, yikes. Whew, that is spooky down there. Wouldn't want to go down there just yet. That's for damn sure. Oh, I need to remove one of these pronto. I wonder if this was the work of an Enderman, no? Suppose I'll fill it in. It's quite obviously the work of an Enderman. Well, in that case, I suppose I have another option. It's pretty obvious when it's the work of an Enderman, you know? What on earth? Oh, yes. This is what chicks look like now. Little chickens, baby chickens. So they did, in fact, update the baby mobs. That's why the village babies look different as well. I thought I got a golden chicken. I was like, oh my god, I got a golden chicken. No. They just updated it to be more realistic. That's cute. Alright, what am I doing here? I suppose I can remove this. I do feel like I need another one here. You're annoying me, Star. I'm out here because it is relatively safe with the light in the distance I've created. Here. Do I want a tree here? Or do I want it here? If I put it here, I wouldn't have to fence in this area. And there are no trees in this line, so it would be a unique feature. I'll leave that there for now. I feel like this is too congested. Maybe I'll try that and see how it feels. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was wondering what happened just then. Well, I do have a no fuckery from creeper policy, so I'll go ahead and just redo what I did. It won't take long because I remember look at that fucking gaping hole, because I remember that I made a point to back it up after I got my resources, so it shouldn't be much of a pain. I made some decisions, but the nature of the decisions were such that most of the work was simply in sorting them out mentally, conceptually. I'll be able to translate a lot of what I just did quickly because now I know what I'm going to do. I've already mapped it out mentally. Okay, so where am I? Yes. This is when I chose to back up the game. It'll only take a second. Yeah. This is when I had gone back because I had to use some oak logs to work out some kinks in the path. This won't take long at all. Not at all. How strange. Hold on a second. That's not adding up. I suppose it's not the end of the world, but it's still annoying. Bruh, I'm getting psyched out by the sounds of these mobs. Anyways. Oh, that was why. Because I had them right on the edge. That's why it wasn't adding up. Yeah. And they were offset by 1, that's why. It's totally fine. The other one was right here, as I remember. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was right here, might be. I feel like I need 2 there. Don't ask me why. And here. Oh, right, I just need to... Like I said, I was relatively safe. The game was just being a bitch. Sometimes it'll just sneak in a creeper where really there shouldn't be. Just because it can. Anyways. Right. We're back to where we were, pretty much. Do I have bone meal? I do. Well. I guess I'll... This is such a tough call. I can't have all the trees towards the outer edge like this. It doesn't feel right. Let me get rid of this one. This feels somewhat justified, but I feel like there needs to be one a little closer. Like right here. Whoa. I just feel like it has to happen. All right, let's do it. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. It's a choice. It's actually ideal because it affords space underneath. Yeah. This is just gonna feel too congested over here if I don't do something about this. I do need to relocate this. You don't have to be too particular about this area, because eventually I'll be fencing this entire thing here, and fencing this entire area in, and this particular boundary will not be necessary. Actually, being that that's something that I know is the case, I should really just get rid of it now. These areas are sealed off. I don't need this here anymore. It's not necessary. Let's just be proactive, you know? So that's closed over there, obviously. And that's closed over there. There is one extra villager that I have to round up, but I'm not really worried about him right now, you know? It's simply not that deep. Just like that loser who is not worth my time. Simply not that deep. Not much substance. It's okay. I am grateful for the experiences that I have. For what they are in the moment, as well as what they are later. Easier said than practiced, and I've gotten better at doing the latter. Oh yes, and I have this now. Whoops. Other way, please. Oh, how annoying. How satisfying. Oh, right, because there was grass there. I was wondering why it was pacing up. If you don't remove the grass before you place it, it'll force it to face up. Anyways, I'll look forward to putting some stairs here. Really, this was the best decision I ever could have made, deciding to honor the true jungle biome over there with a very long path, because it creates so many beautiful moments. That I may not have been able to envision as accurately as needed without the right perspective. Life is all about that P word, so. Nice. Amazing progress, honestly. This entire strip is so lovely. It's like a highway strip, but beautiful. Well, I guess you would call that a nature preserve. I've really outdone myself with this building. In pure survival? On bedrock? Yikes. I'm low-key one of the coolest Minecraft streamers in existence, despite the fact that it isn't even my specialty. But what else is new? On that note, I have found more inspiration to build again. I will look forward to erecting a giant jungle forest city wall over yonder very shortly. But for now I am pretty tired, so I'm going to pack it in. All right. Good night. See y'all soon.